अब धेरै भूमिका नबाधिकन यहाँहरू सबै अभ्यस्त भइसक्नु भएको छ। मेरो भूमिका भनेको चाहिँ समयलाई एकदम समयमा यसलाई चाहिँ सक्ने हो र म हामीलाई जति समय दिएको हो त्यसमा सक्ने प्रयास गर्छु र मेरो अनुरोध चाहिँ के छ भने पेपर प्रस्तुतहरूले भूमिका नबाधिकन तपाईँले किरात राई हो भनिकन दिमागमा चाहिँ जे विषयवस्तु हो त्यसमा जानुभयो भने छलफल अलिक हाम्रो 20 मिनटको समय जुन छलफलमा छ त्यो छलफल चाहिँ अलिक बढी तपाईहरुको लागि चाहिँ सबैको लागि प्रोडक्टिभ होला भन्ने आशा गरेको छु। अब म आज हाम्रो चारवटा पेपर प्रस्तुतहरू हुनुहुन्छ। पहिलो पेपर मदन राईज्यूले पेपर प्रेजेन्ट गर्दै हुन्छ। म पेपर प्रेजेन्ट गर्ने क्रममा तपाईले आफ्नो परिचय पनि एक सेन्टेन्समा तपाईको के गर्दै भनेर सुरु गरेर पेपर प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्नको लागि मैले अनुरोध गरेँ। म अब सुरु गरेँ र मेरो यहाँ उपस्थित सबैलाई अनुरोध चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि सकेसम्म साइड अफ नगरिदिनु भयो भने राम्रो हुने थियो र फोन भाइब्रेसनमा राखिदिनु होला। तपाईँ फोनमा कुरा गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने कृपया बाहिर निस्केर फोन कुरा गरिदिनु होला। यो एउटा हाम्रो प्राविधिक एकाडेमिक मन्थन हुने भएको हुनाले यसका केही नियमहरू हामीले चाहिँ फलो गरौँ होला जस्तो लाग्छ। म यति भन्दै मदनजीलाई तपाईको छोटो परिचय सहित यो तयार भयो तपाईले परिचय दिएको पेपरको कुरा गर्दै होला है आउँछ ल तपाईको टाइम सुरु भयो है अनि 15 मिनेट भन्दा 13 मिनेटमा तपाईलाई वोट को आउँछ ल 15 मा ऱ्याप गर्नु होला। ओके यो टाइम स्टार्ट नाउ।
Mr. Chairman, Chancellor of Kirat Rai Academy, Vice Chancellor of Kirat Rai Academy, Member Secretary, distinguished prominent scholars, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Madan Rai. I am a PhD scholar at Kathmandu University, Department of Language and Mass Communication. My expertise is on communication of Mundum, and my topic today is exploring communication of Kirat Rai from communication perspective. And ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to explain about something about my topic. I will be unraveling about the Kirat Rai Mundum communication. And Mundum is the philosophy of Kirat Rai, and this is the worldview of Kirat Rai. And it is very important to explore all the components of communication as far as this is the age of information and communication. And there will be four tables, and this will include introduction, methodology and discussion, and the conclusion, please. And of course, I have already said that it is very important to study about the communication, and this paper will be rigorously talk about the Mundum communication, and this will not accept the meta theory of the world about the communication, and this will explore orientation, reorientation, reconciliation, and Asian perspective of communication, please. And in Mundum communication, I have found two perspective and assumption based on the ontology and epistemology, that are philosophic communication, and another one is coordinated communication. And I do have the three objectives. First one will be about the finding out the dynamics of the communication in the Kirat Rai Mundum, and the second one will be how the communication in the Mundum will be affecting the Kirat Rai life, and the third one will be about how the Kirat Mundum communication can contribute in the global scenario of communication. And of course, I have already said Mundum is the philosophy of Kirat Rai, and this is the worldview of Kirat Rai. That's why we have to study about the communication about this. And of course, I have cited to the right 2011, and the Mundum is not a hearsay. This is a philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say one thing, that I go citing to math and mathlet that no one cannot not communicate. That's why we have to study about the communication. And no civilization never existed without the study of communication. That's why studying communication is very important and prominent. And I think I don't need to explain about the methodology. If anyone do have question about my methodology, I did submitted my dissertation in Masters and MPhil in Center Department of Communication. So we can talk about the discussion here. We'll be talking about how communication Mundum is related. And ladies and gentlemen, as far as my study in my master's dissertation and the MPhil, I did found some patterns of communication in the Kirat Mundum. There are 6 patterns of the communication exist in the Kirat Mundum. First one is intrapersonal communication. Second one is interpersonal. Third one is intrapersonal, and the fourth one is group communication, and fifth one is folk communication, and the last but not least is the traditional communication. And the intrapersonal often talks about the intra-communication within oneself. And the second, transpersonal communication, is the communication with the divine power from the meditation and the prayers. And the interpersonal communication, often it talks about the communication between more than 2 people. And the third one is often, this is practiced in Kirat Mundum and culture. It is often practiced in the Sakela and others, and in group communication they are needed a couple of people, more than couple of people. Thank you. And the fourth communication is often, it is based on the 4 practices, especially it is practiced in Kirat songs and dances and etc. And the last one is about the traditional communication. And the traditional communication, as far as my senior journalist and the scholar Rajesh Samling have studied about this tradition. He has found this all types of traditional communication we do practice in our Mundum and in our daily life. They are Pung, Kok, Linsibung, and etc. There are many traditional communication practices we have been doing in our Mundum and when we do practice Mundum. Thank you. And these were 6 communication patterns in the Kirat Mundum. I found it and I explained Mundumi communication in different way. Like the first one is communication like in 1960s, a Canadian scholar Marshall McLuhan found media is masses. That is what we practice in Mundum. He found in 1960s, but this has been practiced in the Kirat Mundum, where that is also I have called as semantic, and it can be called as a Notung communication as well, where this is a unique communication practice we do have, excluding other practices in the global, except where the Mundumi, who himself is a messenger, at the same time he is a message creator. He is being a medium at the same time. So message or communication depends on the medium. When the medium is the effective, like when Notung, when semantic is very effective, then communication can be made in a proper way. That's why this can be explained more, please. And the next one is, we all are so hypnotized and so practically attached with the flora and fauna. Our own stories and everything is all connected with floras and faunas, and when it comes floras and faunas things, then after we have to talk about the semiotics, where signifier, this all sort of things, that all has to be explained. Whatever we have been using or talking about the floras and faunas, that has to be dealt with. And it can be perspective of flora and fauna communication that exists in our Kirat Mundum. And the third one, and the Subtulung or Chula communication. And the herd of Mundum is Chula. That's why many perspective of communication hides in Mundum and Chula. That's why we have to develop a communication perspective about the Chula or Subtulung. which has been interpreted at the sacred point of Kirat and the highest and supreme court of social justice. If we do not make the perspective about that, then after it cannot be justified the Kirat Mundum and the Chula. Thank you. And obviously, the globe has more than 500 million indigenous people, and we are one of them. And we do have very distinct and very different communication practices that we do have in our Mundum. And Mundum do have indigenous communication qualities and all the requirements. That's why we do have, Mundum do have indigenous communication. We have to make more researches, interdisciplinary and different approaches in Mundum, so we can find out it. And there I did use the linear and non-linear approach in Mundum. Most of the Mundum communication are one way, or very less are two-way. One way means linear and two-way is non-linear. There are many practices I have listed out below. There are many practices or rites and rituals they have been practicing in one way, and very less they are non-linear. And I do have some findings. Findings can be recognized as a data in academic field. Linear sort of nature which does not welcome, permit, interact, feedback as important element of it. Mundum do not allow most of the time interaction. At the same time, interaction, feedback, exchange of opinion in pattern. Even we do interaction or anything else, they are pattern, scripted with the boundaries, and does not welcome new knowledge and new thoughts, and it is all pattern. At the same time, I quoted only, and the first professor of communication, he says, without public participation, without Kirat people in the Mundum, there is no functioning democracy. We cannot be functioning well. And without informed, there is no quality participation. Without knowing and do have right to express their opinion when Mundumi procedure is going on, then after there cannot be active and informed participation of Kirat so that they can make some good contribution to the existing knowledge, but that is not practiced. And this is my gift to the Kirat community. I have built this communication model of Kirat Mundum, and this is my gift to the community. Please do have all critical thoughts on it. I'm all fine to describe about it, and our communication goes like, there is one philosophy at the top, and there is always pragmatics at the below. And there are philosophy, coordinative, and verbal, non-verbal, and etc. This can be reviewed in the days to come. And implications, my findings are like, linear Mundum communication may limit, linear kind of communication may limit the exchange of ideas, discourse, informed participation, and that can hinder development of critical thinking and new knowledge among the Kirat people. That's why please do help or make it two-way. And the lack of two-way can lead feeling of exclusion. Like I always talk about the theory of spiral of silence, that can be. That's why we have to think about that. And the last one is communication patterns resembling with the magic bullet. We are thinking like the communication in the Mundum, like a magic bullet. That does not work in the 21st century. That's why it has to be in a coordinative and two-way. And my recommendation is like, I strongly encourage more interactive and participatory communication practices within Mundum rituals. And the second one is introduce educational program, workshop raise about the importance of two-way communication, feedbacks, values of diverse opinion within the community. Let's foster a culture of opinion open communication and critical thinking by encouraging everyone to voice when Mundum practice is going on. And the future prospects, I do have a dream. Why not theorize the Mundum and make theorizing the Mundum and make communication model of Mundum, communication paradigm of the Mundum. And Mundum is full of communication, can be envisioned, and why not we contribute to more than 500 indigenous for making new knowledge and methodology building. And we can have longitudinal studies, and surely interdisciplinary research is always welcome. Thank you so much and have a wonderful time. And thank you Kirat Academy for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful time.